You're watching News 8 on WROC.
CPA Michelle Stabell with us once again. Michelle, good to see you. We've got an important topic for folks at home, what not to expect for your 2022 taxes. Hey, right off the top, let's put this out there for people who may have gotten a very large return last year, especially if they have children. That may not be in the offing this time around, right?
Absolutely. Moderate taxpayers with kids at home saw huge, or some of them saw huge refunds for 2021. And I want to make sure that no one expects that again for 2022, because a lot of the tax provisions for 2021 were temporary. They were not extended. We will not see them, as far as we know, for 2022.
Let's start with one that had an impact on a ton of families, and that's the child tax credit. Things are changing here. Those were temporary changes last year.
Yes. Yes, because of COVID and President Biden coming into office, he expanded the child tax credit. He increased it to $3,000 per child under age 18, $3,600 to children under 6. That wasn't extended beyond 2021. So we're back to the $2,000 per child under age 17, as far as we know. So that could definitely impact people's tax situations and lower their refunds.
And they won't be getting those payments from July to December ahead of time like they did last year. Families should be aware of that.
Yes, that had an interesting impact because a lot of taxpayers saw money in their bank accounts from July to December, whether they asked for it or not. It just kind of automatically happened. And it may have helped or hurt their tax return situation because it was an advance payment of the child tax credit. Either way, it ended up being kind of a headache to reconcile, but we don't have to do it. We're not going to see those payments come out in July, or to the taxpayers from July to December. There's no reconciliation. That's not part of the current tax law for 2022.
With inflation, I'll tell you what, some families may be missing that money this year, so that's good to know. Let's talk about dependent care credit. Michelle, what do we need to know here?
Yes, dependent care is so expensive, and some families saw an $8,000 credit or a refund, additional refund on their 2021 tax returns, which helped offset the cost. That's no longer the case for 2022. The maximum credit for 2022 is $2,100, which very few taxpayers see. Most taxpayers would see a $600 or $1,200 credit, so do not expect several $1,000s of a credit related to dependent care for 2022. All right,
that's really important to know. One last one here in our remaining time. Stimulus reconciliation. What's the change here?
We don't have any more stimuluses as far as we know. So there's been 3 since the pandemic started. 2 of them were reconciled on the 2020 tax return. The last one was reconciled on the 2021 tax return, meaning if taxpayers didn't receive them when they were initially sent out, then they turned into a credit on the tax return. We haven't seen any more stimuluses. There's no more reconciliation. There's no more opportunity for an additional credit as far as we know.
Major changes families need to be aware of. Michelle, thank you. We appreciate it. If you missed any of this conversation, we'll have it online as well. Lots of good information at rochesterfirst.com.